Welcome to the kitchen. Today we're going to do something very unusual. We are going to make crystallized rose petals. Now these are 2 roses I picked off of the rose bush this morning at 5 in the morning, so there's really no dew on it and it didn't get dried out from the hot midday sun, but there's a little bit of a damaged petal. So what I need to do is I'm going to separate the petal from the stem, and what we want to do is we are going to brush it with egg white and then dust them finely with superfine sugar. So how am I going to make superfine sugar? Well, you can buy it in the grocery store, but if you don't have it, you just take some sugar and you put it in your food processor and let it spin until it becomes very fine, almost like a powder. You don't want to use powdered sugar, but you do want to use superfine sugar. So let me start taking all these petals apart and then show you what to do.
Please subscribe to Chef Victoria Loves YouTube channel so we can bring you more videos. Thanks.
Here they've been separated and I laid them out, and you don't want to use any that are damaged or brown on the edges. So these are all the clean petals that we had, and I'm gonna now get the food processor and show you how to do the sugar to make it super fine. So we don't need too much superfine sugar for this because we just only have a couple of rose petals. So we're just using 1/3 of a cup. I'm gonna put this in here and then I'm gonna pulse it a couple of times and show you. So let me just close up. You can see the grains of sugar, see how big they are. So we're gonna make it super fine. It's hard to do with such a small amount, so I added another 1/3 of a cup. So this is 2/3 of a cup. And let's see if it's gotten really smaller yet. So this really hasn't gotten too fine. I'm gonna let it go for 1 more minute. There we go. Now you can see it's become very fine. And you can see there's some powder here. So we're gonna just put it into this bowl and be ready to use it. Now we need to separate our eggs. We only want the egg white. So make sure you get no yolk into our egg white. We're going to separate them, yolk in one bowl, egg whites in the other bowl. And here's our superfine sugar, so let's separate them. All right, so now we're going to start making our crystallized roses. In here I have our egg white, just all white, no yolk. You don't want to get that mixed in. And don't add water. Do not add water because that will make the leaves very wet. We're just going to take a brand new paintbrush that's never been used before and brush it very, very lightly with the egg white. You're gonna brush both sides. Any spot that you don't brush, the sugar's not gonna stick to it, okay? So yeah, I'm working on a piece of parchment paper. So if you have that, please use it. If not, you can always use wax paper, but you do wanna work on a surface that you can brush on. And then you're gonna dip this gently into the superfine sugar that we just made. And you can coat it too if it's not sticking very well. These are very fragile petals. You can't be rough with them, so you really just have to be very patient. And if it doesn't adhere to a spot, don't brush it again. That's it. You just have to. So as you can see, I missed some spots where I didn't brush it very well. So let's do another one. And if you have a wider brush, that's fine, but this is the only brand new clean brush I had. This is a painstaking, labor-intensive process, so I hope you do realize that it's something that's very special. And if you go online and try to buy some candied rose petals, you'll see how very expensive it is. So if you have fresh roses at home and can use them up like this, it's a great way to make a very special garnish for, let's say, a cake or cupcakes, or an afternoon tea party. You could have these on top of a little lemon curd tartlet. So there's any number of ways to use these, but they are very fragile. They're very expensive to do. And you cannot use store-bought roses. Store-bought roses have pesticides on them, chemicals that are sprayed onto them. So you may not use that. They have to be fresh grown in a garden where you know there's no pesticides put on the petals. Right? So then they have to dry, and they usually take a couple days before they are truly crystallized and dried. So as you can see, this is going to take quite a while, but we've got all these to do, and then we'll have a very pretty garnish. All right, so this is how they look. Now, I prefer to dry it on the parchment paper. Some people like to put it up on a rack, which does help promote airflow, but I can just turn this over the next day. I don't like it on the rack because sometimes the rack leaves an impression on it. So that's why I prefer to do it on the parchment paper. But remember that tomorrow I am going to turn these over so they can dry equally. So this is a long process. I just realized this takes a while. And obviously I did not have a wide brand new brush. So if you have a wide one, that is better. But this is a slow going process. But obviously if you want to have a beautiful garnish, then this is worth doing. And it's something for like, a bridal shower or a little girl's birthday party, something fancy like that, where you want an extra special garnish on your food, so that way it looks absolutely beautiful. So it is worth it, and if you have gorgeous fresh roses, this is a great way to preserve it. You can also make rose petal jelly or rose petal tea. So I like to use everything up as best I can, so this certainly is fun for me. Here I have some cupcakes with some cream cheese. They're actually carrot cake cupcakes with some cream cheese icing, and I'm just going to show you how pretty this will now look with a little rose petal, crystallized rose petal on the top as the garnish. So see how beautiful that is? If you have little teeny tiny ones, you can put more than one on. Something like that. And see, isn't that beautiful? So anyhow, now you know how to make our crystallized rose petals, and I hope this inspires you to try it at home. Thank you so much everybody for watching, and please check out more videos on our YouTube channel. Take care everybody, bye.
For more recipe demonstrations, please click like and subscribe to Chef Victoria Loves YouTube channel and have fun in the kitchen. Thank you.